All right, just 22 slides. This is about La Palma and Julian Day Zero and the measure of the creation from the beginning. La Palma has been set up for this time now. So the first two slides, just a bit of trivia, if you like, from Andrew over on the Telegram, and then my response to him. Right, so somebody was posting around that when you add up the gematria values for the 26 letters of the English alphabet, they do total 351, and people have been playing around and putting in, as they do, which really doesn't annoy me, over on the geometry. But anyway, all of the phrases that total 351. At the top, Jesus Christ is the English alphabet. And Yar has said from the get-go that English is the language of God today. Of course. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the language he's speaking. It's the language of engineering. Hello. Not rocket science. So, my response to Andrew was, have always told the world that English is the language of God. It was part of the conversation with Pope Benedict on the day of our communications as well. I think he was expecting to come along and converse with him in Aramaic or Latin or something, but anyway. So what is 351 in the Greek Strong's? Well, it's an examination, hello, as a law term among the Greeks. The preliminary investigation held for the purposes of gathering evidences for the information of the judges. And what has Yah been saying all along? Take my work, examine it for yourselves. You academics, mathematicians, military, and judge the evidence for yourself. And they have. All good. So, time began with Julian Day Zero. This is from previous uploads over on the bitchute. We've got the location of the sun on Julian Day Zero. South, 21 degrees, 46.800 minutes. West, 19.800. So it's 0, 19.800 degrees west. Now that was the position of the sun January the 1st, 4713 BC. However, in astronomy it's recorded as minus 4712. The time was 12 noon, high noon. Again, the date, January the 1st, 4713 BC. That location measures 4712, hello, miles to the South Pole. From the altar to the Lord, that is the Great Pyramid in Egypt. And as we know from Isaiah, chapter 19, verses 19 and 20, it does sit on the border of Upper and Lower Egypt, and its latitude is the speed of light number, 29.979248 degrees north. So measuring from the altar to the Lord to the Julian Day Zero sun location just happens to be 6,666.666 kilometers. Now the word Lord is found in 6,666 verses of the KJV 1611. Those of you who have been following for some time already know this, and you will be marveling at this information. Now, yeah, I read very recently that Australia's already passed the law in their parliament that they can call in the United Nations troops. As a matter of fact, a man was hauled before the courts for no reason. He was absolutely set up, and the magistrate told him, he was set up as a deterrent to any other activists out there. He was completely innocent. And the magistrate let it slip that Scott Morrison was a weak leader and the United Nations needs to be in Australia. This was just last week in the Brisbane Magistrates Court. So it's been set up. Why? Because it's the holy city. The masses have no idea the absolute perfection, though, of the universe and the earth, how God, Jesus, created all things from an atom to human cells to the prophecy about to be fulfilled. La Palma is 6,000 feet high, and it's called a stake, just like Ball's Pyramid is. Ball's Pyramid, 777.7 kilometres from Sydney Heads, Sydney, the rebirth city, Rosebery, Sydney, the Christ reborn into January 11th, 1944 at 2:22 a.m. The father this time, so the day and the hour that only he knows, he has been declaring, showing, telling, revealing ever since the advent of the internet has made it possible. This is from the internet. The world's highest stake, Ball's Pyramid, is an erosional remnant of a shield volcano and caldera lying 20 kilometres or 12 miles southeast of Lord Howe Island in the Pacific Ocean. Ball's Pyramid is 562 metres, which is 844 feet, while measuring 1,100 metres or 3,609 feet in length and only 300 metres or 984 feet across, making it the tallest volcanic stack in the world. Ball's Pyramid is part of the Lord Howe Island Marine Park in Australia and is, so that's all from the internet. Now, 562 metres. In the Hebrew Concordance, 562 is promise or word. Greek Concordance, interminable, endless. The cliff face called Sydney Heads has a white line miraculously embedded in the Magellan GPS program that discovered when he first got it all those years ago, shown on the next slide. Now it appears only when zooming in to several hundred metres from above. The line across the heads, 1.97 kilometres, points at my home rights yard, which is 17.4 miles away. So it's pointing to 7 Trevone Street, Padstow. 197 yards body weight in pounds as a 19-year-old. And, but more importantly, I reminded him, Brian Leonard Marshall. Simple geometry, which is the name written of the Revelation 19:12, and given to him by Daphne, the most royal woman, Daphne Golightly. The 174 means thorn, and Yah lived at 174 President Avenue in Miranda, wasn't it, babe? Mm-hmm. With the thorn in my side at that time, pulling for about 18 months. So let's go to the white line. Yah's measured 1.97. You can just see the white underneath the green of the measure. It's like a spear pointing to Yah's. There it is there, 17.4 miles to...
Trevone.
What's that?
Trevone.
Yeah, Trevone, yes, I'm just looking at it. Interesting. Now, measuring from Ball's Pyramid to St. Margaret's Hospital, the hospital Yah was reborn into, 787 kilometres. In the Hebrew Concordance, the number is the word foundation, from Ezra 4:12, and answers the question, the invading Babylonian, Satana India Nimrod, quoting, "Be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and the bad city, and have set up the walls thereof, and joined the foundations." So Yah writes this is after the 458 BC invasion, when the lie is exposed. So it was the invaders from Satana India, the seed of Cain, they invade Babylon, and there was written, and created the construct which has become the Old Testament, pretty much, first 5 books certainly. The fictional 1500-year myth, recently written Exodus, proves Moses was a myth. The construct of the event occurred in 458 BC. However, it was constructed to read as a time that was written between 2000 to 1500 years BC. And the instructions written into the script are supposed to be from then, between those years, to destroy the Asherah and Yahweh, which did not exist 1500 years before. So to make it all plausible, they had to invent a line of kings to give the order to. Yah calls it sheer madness, but quoting that ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. And that's the word Asherah being changed to groves. And goddess of love, Asherah. However, by measuring creation leads us from Ball's pyramid to the exposure of the Moses myth, as we've just done, that 787 kilometres. Yes, Australia is under attack because it is the holy city. And some of you may have already listened to that word spoken by Hank Kuhneman on September 26, 2021, when Yah was 77.71 years of age. From 5 minutes into the video, he spoke about Australia and the married couple chosen from youth, and he specifically mentioned from our marriage date, which was December the 4th, 2010, while in Fiji. And what is very interesting is that it was on that Sunday, the 26th, that for the first time in all of these years, we had a phone call from, we called him Lami, but his name is Saki Usa, Saint Lami from Fiji. He was the one that did all of the work after we, fixed him, because Saki had been blown up in a boiler accident working for the Queensland Forestry. Over there, a friend who was working with him died. Lami survived. And all this time later, still suffering, he met us and believed straight away, especially when we used our protocols and hit him with the flash. And it rewired his central nervous system, his brain fog left, and then he went about curing everybody he came across on the island, on the South Island. So Saki was called to say that he now had 5 sons and that he named his smallest son Golightly-Marshall, after Yahweh. He said to me, "How is Marshall?" I said, "He is great." And I sent him Yah's full name, the new name of the Revelation, 3:12, and he phoned the next day to say he was naming his youngest son after Yahweh. And we have 2 children in Papua New Guinea. One, this is from Jimmy, who had the dream about Yah coming. His grandson is named James Brian, and his granddaughter is named Julie Janelle. So, bit of joy. So what have we got here? Oh yes, I wanted to point this out. Look at these numbers. So what have we got? Julian day 0, the speed of light, latitude through the altar to the Lord, Upper and Lower Egypt, 6.6 kilometres. From the pyramid to the sun location on the earth, Julian day 0. Now, I want you to look at this. From the sun location, measuring to the South Pole, at 12 noon 47 BC, or minus 4712, it is 4712 miles to the South Pole. That is incredible. This is just confirming everything that this is the wrap. When you see the app, well, it is curtains. This is it. However, that converts to 7584.5 kilometres. So that's really important. Measuring from the pyramid, Julian day 0, over to Yah's rebirth location is 7783.0 nautical miles. Yah will be 77.83 years old on November the 11th. Could be, well, in the States you would write it as 9/11. Not 9/11, what am I talking about? 11/11. However, the word November is 9. It actually means 9. No, I've got this back to front. Take that back, because okay, Yah has written it Australian style. It's the 9th day of November. So 9/11. And again, November means 9, but forget that. Written in Australia as 9/11. Hello. Go on about the mirror, back to front and all the rest of it. Yes, there's some pretty spectacular numbers coming out of this. On the next slide, we'll cover what the 7584. Remember, this is all to do with La Palma. It was erupted September the 19th, 2021, 7 days before. Yeah, it was 77.71. Here it is. Look at this. So we have found in the Hebrew Concordance 7584, it means devastating form, and it is from 7582. So when we go to 7582, it more fully explains. Lay waste, rushing, hello, waste, desolate. Crash, make a din or crash into ruins, be in ruins, be desolated. Found in Isaiah 6:11, then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted, without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. Now remember, from 2010 Yah's exposure, and for the longest time, this thrown into the sea, causing a tsunami that would just end up travelling faster and faster to the east coast of the USA, into the UK, the North African continent. The devastation that the predictions that scientists have made about the height of this wave, possibility of this. It sounds like Isaiah 6:11. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. Isaiah 17:13, the nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. Hast thou not heard long ago how I have done it, and of ancient times that I have formed it? Now have I brought it to pass that thou shouldest be shouldest be to lay waste to fenced cities into ruinous heaps. Remembering this is the measure from the sun location on Julian day 0. At that point in time, measuring from the pyramid, the altar to the Lord, to La Palma. Let's go back, have a look. Confirming Julian day 0. See that? From the pyramid to La Palma, 4712 kilometers. Okay, let's continue. Now, Yah's age in years when La Palma erupted, September 19th, 2021, he was 77.69 years in the Hebrew Concordance. From Job, howbeit He will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry, 7769, in his destruction. Or Job 36:19, will he esteem thy riches, 7769? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. So what are we talking about here? How about London Gold Exchange, New York Gold Reserve, nor all the forces of strength, Pentagon, or deep state forces, whatever they have. God does not esteem them. Now, it was April 20th, 2010, with the Deep Horizon oil rig disaster in the Gulf of Mexico. Yah revealed at the time the attempt by the deep state to set off La Palma then. So his age from that date was 3458 weeks. 3458 in the Greek Concordance is millstone. So this is bringing us up to speed with La Palma, what is happening now. Not only La Palma, you've got the 7 volcanoes in Iceland. You've got Hawaii going off again. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, 3458, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Babylon, London, New York, Washington. How about Paris? Revelation 18:22, and the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. Anecdotally, Rome itself is coping with hordes of wild boars, pigs roaming the streets. They're coming in, foraging for food in the overladen dumpsters, they're going through the garbage looking for food, and sometimes 30 at a time.
They'll eat you.
Yeah. Very dangerous. So what have we got from April 20th, Deep Horizon, until September 19th, the eruption of the Palma? Yes, April 20th, Hitler's birthday. Hitler, outside of Jesus, the most vilified man in all history, deliberately. All right. The distance in time, 4170 days, means what? Make war, fight, make war. Repent, or else I come quickly thee and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. That's what Yah has been doing. There was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought, 4170, against the dragon, and the dragon fought, 4170, his angels. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war? These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And the last, Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven opened, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war, which is what Yah has been doing, smiting the nations with the words of his mouth, truth, revelation, explaining all things, and now revealing what La Palma is in the creation from the beginning. This is interesting. 4170 is 11 0.4170 years. 1141 in the Greek Concordance is devilish. Devilish. So Yah thinks of La Palma as a hair trigger. I cough or we sneeze. He sets it off. Or clean up the city of London. United Nations in Belgium and New York there, and Washington. Pentagon. Yeah. Well, they'll all be gone come December the 4th, 2021. Our wedding anniversary, 11 years since December 4th, 2010. King William, the line of Scotland, birth and death date, 1143 to 1215. Now, as an alternative for these cities, they can be refurbished to paradise level under Trump returned, watching over the Pentagon team. See, says he's been my manager since July 13th, 2012.
Destroy Washington.
Oh, totally. Wipe it out. Wipe it off the face of it.
The White House.
Yeah. As for money, print what it will take and double it. Borrow from 1,000 years into the future economy, interest-free. Payback, Yah says keep it, it's a gift. Again, judgment is revealed by the 4712 or 4713 numbers from Julian day 0. But first, Revelation 20:12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. Yah writes many books recording one's previous life until now. A second book in time is the book of life. The La Palma trigger, 471213 distances on Julian day 0. When you search for 4712, it's from 6896, something tight, trouble, distress, pain, straight. 4713 from 4714. Yeah, it's an inhabitant of Egypt, Upper and Lower Egypt, Egyptians. 4693 in the sense of a limit, Egypt as the border of Palestine, besieged places, defence fortified. 4714, Upper and Lower Egypt. Then you've got Isaiah 19 and 20. The Hebrew gematria for both verses, 5449, which is the height in pyramid inches, 5449 pyramid inches of the altar to the Lord. 5449 pyramid inches is 454.08333 feet from 5453. Growth by germination or expansion, that is, natural production, lineal descent. By extension, a genus or sort. Figuratively, native, descended from God via Jesus and Martha. Just so you know, 833 is my number. Asherah, which means happy. So Yah writes, it's a love story, how we all become one, restoring your beloved parents, Asherah and Yahweh. This photograph from our wedding day, December the 4th, 2010. The birth and death day of King William, the Lion King of Scotland, Yah's ancestor. In this marvelous tapestry, which is a love story.